Okay, just gonna make a few veneer repairs. We've got a piece of veneer here that's lifting, and I think that rather than heating up the hide glue, I'm just gonna take some Tybond. Tape can be your best friend in this situation to help to hold that piece of veneer into place. Now that this has had time to dry, we're going to go ahead and remove the tape and take a look and see if everything's stuck the way that it should have. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. When I went to wipe this one down, I noticed that I had missed a repair. Right here, we're missing a little piece of edge banding that goes on this drawer. So it's got a lot of glue residue here. So I'm just going to remove that, and then we'll make that repair and let it dry, and then come back to it to give it its shellac. I'm just going to scrape that off. And because we kept all of the pieces of that edge banding that we took off earlier, we've got a way to repair this with the same wood that came off of it, which is fantastic. So there'll be no chance that it won't match up. So that's pretty amazing. Okay, just gonna again remove the glue off the back of this piece. All right, so we'll just put that on and that'll match pretty well. I like using electrical tape as a hinge because it's so flexible and helps it to hold it into place. I'm just using Tybond to put this on, and then we will get our little tape in there all situated nice and tight. I think that'll be okay. Put that over it. I've got tape on both sides of this taping block as well, and then that will help to hold everything down flat. That should hold it down flat and let it dry. So we'll just set this one aside now. Now let's take the clamp off and see how this veneer repair is. Ah, perfect. Love it. Beautiful. Alrighty. While we're waiting on the Bondo to dry, we're going to come over to the drawers and we're going to start looking at some of the repairs that need to be made on these drawers as far as the veneer repairs. If you'll remember, I reclaimed a lot of the edge banding pieces. The problem with that is that you really need to match up the grain patterns as best you can. The color would be okay, except that my grain patterns on the veneer or the edge banding are going this direction, and the grain patterns on my drawers are going this direction. And if it was a smaller repair, then I'd be good to go with a piece like this. But if I used a piece like this, I've still got a little raw edge here. So I'm gonna have to find a different veneer to repair that with. Alright, I brought out some more pieces. These are pieces that I reclaimed off of a Duncan Fife table a few months ago. It was an antique Duncan Fife. Like I say, I reclaim almost all the old veneer because you just can't find it, and you never know when you might need something like this. Oh, those match. That grain pattern matches up pretty well, so I think we might have found the winner here. I'd have to stain it to get to that color, but I think I could make that happen. The problem is that this veneer is quite thick. You can see that it's quite thick, but this veneer is very thin. So I'm going to have to build up some layers here to get to the top and make it all level. So I think we'll start there. It's all quite fiddly, but I'd say worth it to try and save a piece from being painted if possible. I love to paint furniture, but I also love it when I can keep a piece as original as possible. So okay, I think that's our level there. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 pieces of the edge banding and glue them together, and then a piece of the veneer over that will get us to the level that we need to be at. And I've glued my pieces together and made them much thicker, and they should match up height-wise perfectly. So what I'm going to do is just put some tape over that, and this will help me to get the exact measurements that I need on that piece of veneer that I have just prepared. So I'm just going to take a pencil and just run it across there, and that'll give me my line. Okay, take that off. Make sure that my veneer orientation is correct. I think that's pretty good. And I'm just gonna put this on here. Get a little board and start cutting out. Well, that matches up pretty good. Like I say, I am not a professional at restoration, but it's not bad. Alright, but I think rather than using Tybond, I think I'm going to get some epoxy mixed up and use epoxy to glue this down. I think it'll hold it better. Just going to put a little bit there. This is not water soluble, so keep that in mind. Right. And both sides of my block here are, I have them taped so that if this gets on it, then it'll just pop off tomorrow when it's dry. And I'm just going to clamp that down, and that should glue it straight.
Be sure if you use epoxy, wipe it off before you clamp it down. Even with tape, this can lead to a problem.
Okay, we're sitting all nice and straight. And I think we'll be good to go. Okay, now that we've let our epoxy dry overnight, we're gonna go ahead and take this off and see how that veneer repair did. Oh dear. There we go. Okay. All right, we are obviously stuck down very well. That's very good. Yeah, a little bit of sanding to get some excess epoxy off, and we will be off and running. So I'm going to get to that and we'll take a look at it at the end. Okay, so we've gotten the tape off and sanded just a bit there, and I've taped off where we put the veneer on here, and so I'm just going to go ahead and start getting it down flush. We'll just go nice and slow. Now we'll mix up a stain to match this color, and then we'll blend it into there, and I think it'll look pretty good.
All of these veneer repairs are part of an Empire chest. To see the full video, don't forget to subscribe, and you'll see the full reveal next week. Please hit the like button if you found this video helpful. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.
Don't worry, I'm not doing anything to the original parts of this beautiful Empire chest.